if she claims to be your friend? Like, how do you know, like, oh, she's trying to take my man?
This is gonna sound crazy, and it probably will make women guarded. The best way you can know is watch your man and ask your man. He gonna tell you. He is going to tell you. He's never failed me. If two people in my life have been very correct on who is my friend and who's not, it's always been my mama and my man. For women, I can't speak for men, but for women, my mama knows and my man knows. And I promise you, if a man tell me she not your friend, I don't ask no questions. I start making arrangements. I start shuffling some pieces around.
Mm.
Because typically,
Mm.
if you look at, well, let me speak for myself personally. The character of the type of men that I like, that I'm romantically interested in,
Mm.
they don't really align themselves in the gossip. They're not chatty patty. They're not really keen into getting into women's business. They like, that's her friend. Cool, that's her friend. It's like she means nothing to me. And then they meet and they're, in passing. He's not trying to formulate a relationship with her, or he's not trying to put himself in proximity of what I have going on with my female friends. Like, he respects my friendships and that's done.
Mm.
But if he ever come tell me that's not your friend, I'm gonna start looking crazy, because what he know that I don't know. And I never go, and I now, as an older woman,
Mm.
I never go and pry no more. I used to pry, I used to ask questions like, why you say that? Because we women and we gullible, and sometimes we women, you said it is my friend. We get a little defensive. But now I know better, because I had two different men tell me that's not your friend. And they were not wrong. They were not wrong. So
Wow.
I feel like if a woman is trying to see if her close home girl want her man, if he genuinely don't want that woman, this is one thing. If he
Mm-hmm.
genuinely does not want that woman,
Mm-hmm.
and he genuinely has good intentions behind his woman, he'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna say it.
So you're saying that the friend make this advance,
Oh, absolutely.
and then if he's truly committed to you, because I want to talk about that a little later. I want to save that for later. If he's truly committed to you, then he's gonna tell you this: your girl is not really your girl.
He will. And again, you have to be very discerning about the type of man that you have, because we know that there are some men who just like chaos, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will have a man who get caught cheating, and it's her homegirl who told it, and then she ain't even your friend. It's like, no, no, you're not gonna get out of this one. But on a situation where, like, you typically, let's just say your man is a cheater, but you know his type, and you have been able to speak to the interactions and the dynamics of him and your homegirl. Let's just say he don't really care for her like that.
Mm-hmm.
Your man can be a male gigolo. He can be very much so charismatic and, very suave, but for some reason she don't do it for him. He's genuinely nice to her, but that's about it. He's trying to remove himself from the situation. And you watching how she may engage. Whether she's, completely, interested or not, she could be completely acting as if she's playing her part. She don't like him. If he mentions it, again, you have to know your man. But if he mentions it, men typically don't engage in stuff like that. That's not the norm, unless he's really messy, he's in his immature phase, or he just like chaos.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk about stuff like that, especially with, more times often than not, men who have a habit of cheating,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that they have a woman that they're not trying to let go. They
Mm-hmm.
typically try to control what's happening around her before they get it out of their control. So
Mm,
yeah.
mm. Do you think those type women prefer married men or men in committed relationships? Does it make a difference, or is it just that she's just like, I'm going to take any man that's just in a relationship? Like, does it make a
Yeah,
difference?
it does make a difference
Okay.
because you have to be able to understand the level of what a woman is willing to commit to, and just because she will go after a guy in a boyfriend girlfriend dynamic don't mean she's willing to deal with a married man. And I can say that from experience.
Mm,
I honor marriage. I value marriage. Um, a lot of people go, well, you're single until you're married.
mm,
A lot of people do have that type of mentality.
mm,
I used to have that mentality until I got older and I realized, wait a minute, you got to start practicing marriage before you get into marriage. So, from experience, I have dealt with women's boyfriends,
mm,
and you have to really just be able to discern, like, again, what the woman's motives are, like what her intentions are, because a lot of times you don't know. And I say this all the time to women, they get mad when I say I'm pro side chick because she didn't go and invite herself into that situation. If it's a burglar in my house, like, they don't get there because you open the door and let them in, right? They came with the intention of stealing. And if you don't do things in order to secure your premise, then you helped. You helped. But as far as like the side chick thing, I always tell women, like, how are you mad at a person who never gave you no commitment? And the women response is, well, she's a woman. She hurt me and she knows how this feels. Or as a woman, and it's like, my gender is not uh it's not equivalent to what I feel about you. You're thinking that I went into this with some type of malice against you. It wasn't about you. I wanted what I wanted. So you can't say, oh, I went and dealt with your man to spite you. This is your ego.
mm,
You can't say my looks have anything to do with what I need from your man. This is, again, your ego. All of this is about what you deem to qualify that makes you feel like could have potentially made your relationship suffer. When you come to attack me, you shouldn't be coming to attack me,
mm, mm,
regardless, because the purpose of me being here literally had nothing to do with you. Even if I knew about you, I made the decision even knowing about you. It had nothing to do with you. It had more to do with what I wanted out of the scenario. And what we know about mistresses, they're known for the whole gold digger or the hush money and stuff like that. But
mm,
the game has changed significantly. And
mm,
sometimes women just want a companion. Like, at a certain age, maybe it's your boyfriend is gonna give you nice stuff. And I don't care. Maybe it's that. Or maybe it's, you know what? Husbands are less messy. They don't have as many women to run around. Or the
mm,
idea that having the boyfriend is a easier opportunity for graduation to that spot. So
mm,
it's a lot of nuances that go into it. And I'm just speaking from a woman's perspective.
mm,
You can't necessarily pinpoint why a woman decides to deal with whatever type of man, whether he's married, whether he's a fiance, whether he's single. You don't know. And we also fail to take into account their history. There are some women who's just been tucked in the back. She been there for a long time. She'd have seen other women come and go. And again, you thinking it's got everything to do with you or her trying to hurt you and you trying to minimize her. But I mean, she been there through 3 or 4 different girlfriends, then you sure it's just about you? You get me?
yeah, I'm just listening, and this is why I had to have you on the show because I'm just like this. I've heard of it before,
Yeah.
but to get so many comments and so many people feeling like offended, it's just like, okay, well, this is probably a real thing then, you know, because when people get offended, you like, oh, okay, well, if the shoe fit, you know, kind of thing. Let me ask you this: if another woman can take another woman's man or boyfriend, husband, was he really hers to begin with?